The grid is down. How local collapse will kill millions and why your neighbors are your only hope. Imagine a day when the lights simply don't come back on. Not for an hour, not for a day, but for weeks, months, or even permanently. Your smartphone is a useless brick. Your car won't start. If it's electric, the water stops flowing, and the grocery store shelves are empty within hours. This isn't just a localized blackout from a storm. This is the grid down, a prolonged, widespread collapse of our essential services and infrastructure. In our hyper-connected, just-in-time society, such an event would trigger a cascade of failures, leading to chaos, mass casualties, and a rapid return to pre-industrial living for billions. The biggest myth we tell ourselves is that someone will fix it. But when the grid goes down, your only real hope isn't a government agency. It's your preparedness and the strength of your local community. To grasp the magnitude of the grid down, we must first acknowledge our profound dependency. Every facet of modern life, from communication to transportation, from food production to sanitation, relies on a constant flow of electricity. Our entire civilization is built on the assumption that power will always be there. But our electrical grids are incredibly fragile, aging infrastructure, susceptible to cyberattacks, solar flares, electromagnetic pulses and from weapons, or even massive weather events exacerbated by climate change. A coordinated attack or a natural disaster of sufficient scale could plunge entire continents into darkness, not for days, but for potentially years. And when the power goes out, everything else follows. The immediate aftermath of a grid-down scenario would be catastrophic. Within minutes, communication blackout, cell towers, internet, radio, and television all cease to function. Information flow stops, panic spreads, and rumors become reality. You are isolated, transportation halt, traffic lights are out. Gas pumps don't work, they require electricity. Electric cars are useless. Supply chains, already fragile, immediately break. No food, no medicine, no essential goods get delivered. Water and sanitation failure. Water treatment plants and pumps rely on electricity. Within hours, clean running water becomes a memory. Toilets stop flushing, leading to immediate public health crises. Food scarcity. Grocery stores rely on refrigeration and electronic payment systems. Their shelves will be stripped bare in hours, not days, by desperate crowds. Heating, cooling loss. Millions in urban environments, especially in multi-story buildings, would lose heating in winter or cooling in summer, making their homes uninhabitable. This immediate chaos would quickly escalate into a full-blown societal collapse. Law enforcement and emergency services, without communication, fuel, or coordinated command, would be overwhelmed within days. The rule of law would evaporate, replaced by survival of the fittest. Urban centers, with their dense populations and complete dependency on external inputs, would become death traps. Food, water, and security would be the only currencies, leading to widespread looting, violence, and a desperate exodus from cities. Millions would die from starvation, dehydration, disease, and violence. The greatest myth of modern preparedness is that the government will save us. In a truly widespread grid-down event, governmental agencies would be just as crippled as the general public. Their communications would fail, their supply lines would be cut, and their personnel would be focused on their own family's survival. This is not a cynical prediction, it's a realistic assessment of what happens when the very infrastructure that supports large-scale organization disappears. FEMA, the military, and other agencies would be too slow, too under-resourced, and too fragmented to reach the vast majority of the population in time. This brings us to the crucial realization: your neighbors are your only hope. Individual prepping is essential, but a lone wolf cannot survive long-term in a collapsed society. You need a community. You need people with diverse skills: a doctor, an electrician, a farmer, a builder, a hunter, a security specialist. Building these relationships before the crisis is paramount. When the grid goes down, it's too late to introduce yourself. Your immediate local network becomes your new social contract, your new government, and your new economy. What does local resilience look like in practice? Water independence. Invest in rainwater harvesting systems, water filters, and knowledge of local natural water sources. Food production. Start a garden, learn to forage, hunt, and preserve food. Connect with local farmers who can continue to produce without modern inputs. Alternative energy, solar panels with battery backup, off-grid solutions, wood-burning stoves, hand-crank generators, diversify your energy sources. Communication, two-way radios, walkie-talkies, shortwave radios, and knowledge of Morse code or signal flags for longer distances. Security, organize neighborhood watch groups, establish communication protocols, and be prepared for self-defense. This is not about aggression, but about protecting your community's resources. Barter and skills economy. Identify skills within your group: medical knowledge, mechanical repair, carpentry, sewing, teaching. Establish a system for trading goods and services without currency. Community hub. Designate a central, defensible location in your community for resource sharing, meetings, and mutual aid. This could be a local church, community center, or a fortified home. The concept of the grid down isn't meant to inspire fear porn. It's meant to inspire realistic, actionable preparation. We are living in an era of unprecedented fragility. Our systems are interconnected to a degree that makes them incredibly efficient when they work, but terrifyingly vulnerable when they fail. A major cyberattack, a targeted EMP burst, or a severe solar storm are not hypothetical threats from Hollywood movies. They are recognized, documented risks by national security agencies worldwide. The question isn't if something big will happen, but when and how prepared your local community will be. The ultimate lesson of the grid down is the re-emergence of localism. When global supply chains break, when national governments are overwhelmed, and when technology fails, humanity reverts to its most fundamental unit of survival: the tribe, the village, the local community. Your physical location, your immediate resources, and your network of trusted individuals will determine your fate. Start building those bridges now. Learn those skills now. Accumulate those resources now. The future belongs to the prepared communities, not the isolated individuals. This is not just about survival. It's about rebuilding a more resilient, localized, and ultimately, more human future. Welcome to the ultimate test of survival economics.